ज्योति स्टेनो टाइपिंग कॉलेज में आप सभी का स्वागत है बच्चों। ये 100 WPM इंग्लिश 100 WPM डिक्टेशन है। ये सभी डिपार्टमेंटों के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट डिक्टेशन है और इसकी स्पीड जो है 100 से थोड़ा सा ऊपर रहती है, तो जिससे जो है आप वहाँ पर 100 वाले टेस्ट को क्लियर कर पाएँ। तो मैं पढ़ने जा रहा हूँ। ये जो वेबसाइट है ज्योति स्टेनो टाइपिंग कॉलेज.com, जब माई कोर्सेज में जाओगे तो उसमें न्यू इंग्लिश क्या किस नाम से, इंग्लिश 100 WPM डिक्टेशन न्यू इस तरह का कुछ नाम है। क्या नाम है? नाम है इसका, यहाँ से बताता हूँ मैं। हाँ, इंग्लिश 100 WPM न्यू डिक्टेशन, इंग्लिश 100 WPM न्यू डिक्टेशन, ये इसका नाम है, मतलब फोल्डर का, जिसमें ये डिक्टेशन नंबर 7 है, बकायदा लगा दी गई है। डिक्टेशन स्टार्ट आफ्टर 5 सेकेंड। Sir, would like to say a few words about ex-soldiers about whom so much have been said. I think we ought to do a little more than what we have been doing for our ex-soldiers, particularly because they are retired at a very early age. They can still do very useful service to the country. We have many forces like the Border Security Force. Many states have their armed constabulary. We have the Railway Protection Force. And then we have the new Industrial Security Force. I think instead of retiring our Jawans and other officers, we could straightway absorb them into these services, because in such a case, he is a trained man and he can be made use of immediately, and he can be paid whatever he was being paid there, and he can serve till the time he can give useful service. I think we could do that instead of just throwing them on the street without making any provision. Of course, it is necessary that he should be retired from the armed forces, because in the armed forces they have a way of working. They want to maintain a particular age group and they want to maintain a particular level of readiness. They cannot keep men after they have passed beyond a limit of physical efficiency and other efficiency. That I can understand. We do not want that the armed forces should be saddled with people whom they do not want, but after they are retired, these people could be useful in the various services that I have mentioned, like the police and other forces. Probably they are much better stuff than what we are getting at present. There should be some such system by which at least the bulk of them, after retirement from the armed forces, could be absorbed right away in these services, and they can be allowed to work till they reach their age of retirement in the normal course. In this way, we would have done something to them for the great sacrifices they have made for the country. In the end, I will take this opportunity of paying a tribute to our Jawans, who are the basic sheet anchor of our national security. They are making tremendous sacrifices and they are serving us in very difficult positions where we would not even like to go. They are doing a tremendous service to the country, and whatever emoluments we might give them would not be enough to match their sacrifices. So we must pay due respect to them and must have their welfare in our mind all the time, and whenever occasion arises, we must try to do something for them. Whatever little we might be giving them, they are there for the love of the country, because they are brought up in certain army traditions, because they are prepared to work and even sacrifice their lives for the country. They are our greatest assets. They are a trained force. Now, having said that, I would like to recapitulate what has been stated by several honorable members about the defense requirements of our country and the threat that we face. It is with that background that we can judge as to whether the various arrangements that have been made, the steps that we have taken, are reasonably sufficient or adequate to meet the type of threat that we face. In this connection, I am glad that there has been a noticeable maturity even in assessing the threat to us, as was evidenced by the debate today. Sir, there was a stage when we are prone to take a rather alarmist view, but by the country is getting accustomed to the threat that is posed to us, that we face, and we view it in the proper perspective. We do not hit the roof on the slightest pretext. That, I think, is a sign of maturity, a sign of growth, a sign of development, a sign of strength also, if I may add. The threat that we face is from our neighbors Pakistan and China, and we have tried to give that as objectively as we could in our report. Maybe being in the defense ministry, our language has not got that polish and luster which should normally be in a presentation where external relations are involved. The leader of Jansang made reference to the Indian Ocean and the withdrawal of the British from the area. That is matter which has been discussed on the floor of this house, and I have made statements, and the External Affairs Minister has also made statements. And when I discuss that aspect, I will again restate our position. But I would like to say that our coastal defense and defense of our islands is a very essential part of our overall defense. The withdrawal of the British forces is one aspect more, I think, a matter of external relations than defense. Our essential defense is defense of our coastal line, defense of our islands. In this connection, I would like to say that we have to approach this subject with a certain measure of confidence. It is true that trade is very important for us, but in case of a real emergency, when we are defending our country, we have to make a careful assessment as to what the minimum resources are in certain essential commodities. We are luckily more or less self-sufficient in food now. Most of our international requirements we can look after ourselves. We can always have enough of stockpiles to keep our machinery going. It has been rightly mentioned that the cost of our Navy is somewhat less as compared to that of the Air Force, of very much less as compared to that of the Army. It is correct, and to understand the reasons for it, we have to look at our map and the geopolitical situation. ये वर्ड बता देता हूँ मैं कितने हैं, ये अभी लिख लेना, ये फिर जो है काउंटिंग करने में दिक्कत नहीं आएगी। 992 ये वर्ड है और ये पढ़ी गई है। 55 सेकंड का कितना बनेगा? 0.9 बन गया। 992 डिवाइड बाई ये स्पीड थी 125 की, और जो है इसको पहले अच्छे से पढ़ें और फिर इसको टाइप कर दें। इस क्लास के अंत में बच्चों, नमस्कार बच्चों।